and he thinks for a bet and bets $250, and I'm just not believing him. I think for a while.
Let's go on the ball. Let's go on the ball. Let's go on the ball, baby.
Has no patience, look at his face and in his eyes. He's been way bound to the die. Always taking chances, all those conversations. Don't know if I'll make it, don't know why he even tries. Say, oh, I am a believer. Oh, don't know how I'll be if I'm not free to take a lead. Oh, I am a believer. Oh, ground beneath my feet, but I don't flee cause I believe. I'll stay down to the...
Hey everyone, welcome back to Raising the Nuts. We're here down at Maryland Live for yet another meetup game with Brad, Owen, and Andrew Neeme. Before we get into today's video, I feel like I should formally introduce the channel to my wife, Jody. You've met the kids and everything, but Jody really hasn't been on the channel that often, so I figured I'd show you guys what Jody's up to, what Jody does. She's actually a nutrition expert and has helped me lose a lot of weight over the last 9 years or so. I used to look like this in this picture up here somewhere, and now I look like this right here. And so I figured I'd have her on. She's actually helped some poker players as well with some health coaching and nutrition coaching. Okay, so Jody, what are a couple tips that you give to people who were looking to improve their health and nutrition?
I would say one of the easiest things you can do is to stop drinking soda and just drink lots of water. Most drinks are just filled with sugar and they're not doing you any favors. Same with Gatorade. It's all junk. Just drink water. If you don't like water, you could always add some fruit to it to give it some flavor. Lemon, cucumber, mint, things like that. Makes a big difference in the taste of the water. Or you could do sparkling water with the fruit added. It's also really, really good.
Okay, so that's a good help for what you're drinking. How about for what you're eating?
You have to get rid of the junk. The easiest thing you can do is to shop the perimeter of a grocery store. They are set up so that all the good stuff, for the most part, is around the whole entire perimeter, and all the aisles are filled with junk. There's a few exceptions. Usually you'll find some nuts and stuff in there, but beyond that, it's all the bad stuff. You want to be eating lots of vegetables, fruit, eggs, meats, things like that. I skip dairy, depends on how it does with you. It's not the best choice always, especially things like yogurt. They're filled with sugar, so definitely look out for all the sugar in the food that you're eating.
So a lot of times they put a lot of the processed foods like in the center of the store, right? Because I guess that's more attractive to people.
It's all the snacks and it's all the soda, all that stuff, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the channel, finally. Sure. Tell everybody where they could find you if they were looking for health coaching or any nutrition advice.
So I'm on Instagram as JLSav_eats, and I'm on Facebook under Jody Savage Certified Health Coach.
Okay, and Twitter?
And Twitter, Jody L. Savage.
Okay, cool. All right,
and it's with a Y, Jody with a Y.
Jody with a Y, that's how you spell her name. All right, so let's get into this week's video here at Maryland. We're gonna head down there and get into some action. Yeah, this is how you vlog, Jody, okay? Some sort of like session. You saw me play the other night at the aisle. What do you think's gonna happen today?
I'm gonna play over here.
So this is the second meetup game at Maryland Live that I've gone to, second one they've had there. You can check up here for the previous episode. That was probably one of my favorite vlogs that I've ever done. Maryland Live, great casino. I'm also hosting my own meetup game there August 24th. Like I mentioned in the previous vlog. Love Maryland Live, dealers are great. The room is beautiful, and the way they handle these mugs is just pretty impressive. We had 21 tables this time, 22 tables last time I think. It ran flawlessly without a problem. Shout out to Maryland Live as always for having us there for the mug. Before the session got started, as I was buying chips, Vlog Watcher, I'm sorry I forget your name. If you did this for me, please post in the comments below. Vlog Watcher stopped by and gave me a lucky coin here, and we'll see if it paid off throughout the rest of the session. Kicking things off, I get seated at my table and immediately get into action, opening up with pocket sixes the first hand to $15 and get 3 callers. Flop comes down 8-5-4 with 2 diamonds, and when they check to me, I decide to bet $30 and pick up 2 callers. Only got rid of 1 person? Turn card's an offsuit deuce. Interesting card, gives me a double gut shot now. And when they checked me, I decided to keep betting as kind of like a merge here, maybe get some value from some worse hands, and then also maybe fold out some better sometimes. So I go ahead and bet $105. The small blind lets it go, and then the big blind makes the call.
Yes, you just got choke slam. I know you have blockers, but you ain't playing the PLO, dummy.
Maybe a good call. The river's the deuce of diamonds.
If you're gonna go for it on this turn, you might as well blast off on this river.
When my opponent checks to me, I decide to just give up and not fire again. I check and he shows Jack 8 of clubs for the win, so not off to the best start here.
Great start, you're playing your best.
I did immediately play every hand at this table. I actually think I played maybe the first 20 hands before I folded a hand, and it wasn't going well. Didn't win many pots. So I get involved here with my new friend Chris on my right. He opens the $15. I put in the 3-bet with ace queen with the ace of spades, the $45, and he makes the call. The flop comes down 10-3-2 all spades.
Why am I even doing this hand? You have the nut flush blocker in position in a 3-bet pot. You're gonna win this hand all the time. This Chris guy seems nice, but you gotta put it in the blender. Blend up, Christopher.
And he checks, and I go ahead and bet $35.
Oh, down bet. That's what all the cool kids are doing.
He makes the call, and we take the turn. Turn's an offsuit king. He checks, and I'm gonna keep firing here. Obviously have the nut flush blocker, so should be able to put a lot of pressure on his range. I go ahead and bet $115. He makes the call.
Good turn card, good bet, good plan.
The river card's an offsuit 7, and Chris decides to lead out for $250. Now he's got about $800 behind, I believe it was.
Ooh, yum yum. He's leading to give us and even more money. Time to do what you do. All you can eat, baby.
I'm thinking for a while, trying to decide what to do. Ultimately decide to fold and not jam the river.
Really? Really? You've gone soft in your old age. Have some gumption and pride, for crying out loud.
So I was at this table for about 2 hours and did not win many pots. I was trying really hard to win a lot of pots, but it wasn't working out. Into the game for another 1,000 at this point. I had bought in for 1,000 initially, so into the game now for 2,000 with only 1,000 in front of me. Another vlog watcher, Ben, was sitting at another table and asked me to come over to his table. Decided to switch things up and move over there and see if we could get some more mojo going on over there.
You're gonna need more than a lucky coin to win. Give this guy a table change.
That's how it works, right? Everyone's definition of premium is a little bit different though, so. And instantly, first hand I'm in there, I get a small value bet in on the river here with Jack 9 on this board. And then right after that, this hand comes up, the button straddles, and I raise to $30 in the cutoff with 9-4 spades. The button makes the call. Button's name is Matt. He watches the vlog. Also, I would like to preface this by saying that Matt did agree to have this footage in the vlog, and I asked him if he wanted to keep in all his table talk as well. He said yes. I just want to put that out there to the public, and he was a good sport about everything. I go ahead and make it $30 with 9-4 spades. He calls on the button. We take the flop heads up. The flop comes down ace 6-4 with 2 spades, giving me bottom pair and a flush draw. I go ahead and bet $30 again. He puts in the raise to $115. $115. I have a couple different options here, but I think calling is probably best, so I go ahead and make the call. The turn is an offsuit 8. I check, and he thinks for a bit and checks back.
I'll check.
The river is an offsuit ace, so I go ahead and check again. And he thinks for a bit and bets $250. And I'm just not believing him. I think for a while and then make the call.
Damn it, good call. Oh wow, you called with just that 4?
Let's go on the ball. Let's go on the ball, baby.
I felt I bet high enough to price you out. You just called the flat for the flush draw, didn't you?
I have a pair too.
Yeah.
The pair worked out.
I felt I could represent the ace there.
It was tough.
Still have to work hard, that's for sure.
Tough call. It was a good bet.
Yeah, I felt you'd fold for sure. If you didn't have that ace, you'd snap it into the muck. I can't believe you called me with bottom pair. You called my 6 barrel with bottom pair.
You know his fault, it's my fault.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Our battles were not done, as you'll see in an upcoming hand. But first, I have 5-3 clubs in a 4-way straddled pot.
Pot there.
You did.
So I figured you didn't have the ace. There's no way you're going to call that without the ace.
I bet $20 on the King 6-4 rainbow board and get 2 calls.
Too sticky.
The turn is an offsuit 10, bringing backdoor diamond draw. And when they check to me, I continue betting for $80.
I wanted to see those cards going in the center, not the chips.
Understandable.
See those cards going in the center.
The small blind folds.
Yes, 80. Yes, 80.
And the big blind makes the call. The river's an offsuit queen.
Don't have the I should have bet small on the turn.
And my opponent thinks for a bit and checks, and he has about $200 left, so I go ahead and just bet $200.
You probably wouldn't have raised. I should have bet small on the turn. Then you'd have folded to my big bet on the river.
And he makes a really quick fold. So we get that bluff through. Show the 3 over there. At this point, we kind of have everything going our way. There's open to $35 off the button straddle from the small blind. And there's a bunch of calls when it gets us in the cutoff, and I go ahead and put it in the 3-bet to $200 with ace queen offsuit. Everyone folds except for two players who are all in. One player all in for 200, the other player to my right all in for less. And ace queen ends up winning on a 4 deuce deuce ace 5 board. I'm not sure what the other 2 players had. Pretty much everything's going right for me at the table at this point, and I think at this point Ben, who had asked me to come over to this table, is probably regretting that decision. And then comes the next confrontation with Matt here on my left. So I opened to $15 with 10-8 of clubs, and he 3-bets to $55 from the cutoff. The button, David cold calls, and I call as well.
55. You know I'm in there now. I gotta give a chance to redeem yourself.
The flop comes down 10-5-2, rainbow, 1 club. I check. Matt puts in the C-bet to $100. David makes the call on the button, and I decide to call. Also closing the action. Back to a flush draw, top pair. Probably the best hand at the time, but we're not really sure. We're going to see what happens on the turn. Turns the queen of clubs. Interesting card. Overcarded the board, but does give me the flush draw to go with my pair. I check. Matt decides to go all in.
I'm all in.
All in.
For $750. David gives a pretty good long thought on the button and then ultimately folds. And now it's back to me. I got to decide what to do. Matt's reaction the first time I hear called him wasn't so great. A little nervous about his reaction the second time I hear called him, but I do have a flush draw to go along with my pair in case he does have me beat. So ultimately I decide on a call. It is quite an overbet, but we didn't come here to fold, right? We didn't come to this meetup game to fold. So I go ahead and make the call.
Twice! Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. Ace, king, no diamond. That's twice you hero called me. I'm sick of being hero called. At least I had.
So you're.
He didn't say he's coming
You
back.
have to call my call too. Yeah. I was good there.
Well, you had the flush draw. That's why you hero
Yeah,
called.
do it.
If I'd have done it out the river, would you have called?
He is out. Trevor.
Probably up about $1,300 on the session. Play another straddled pot where I straddle on the button. I have 9-6 of diamonds, and we take the flop 4 ways. Flop top 2, 9-6 for rainbow. 1 heart. Player under the gun 1, I didn't get your name, but he said hi in the video at one point in this video. He makes it $40. The player in middle position makes a call. I go ahead and put in the raise to $150, and they both call. The turn card is the King of Hearts, bringing backdoor hearts, and they check to me. I go ahead and continue for $300. The underdog one player thinks for a while and then decides to jam it all in there. $1,100 approximately. Decided to make the easy call here on the turn. I think our hand is just too good to fold here, so I got to make the call. River blanks off. I show my hand. He says it's good, and he tells me that he had 9-7 of hearts. So faded a bunch of outs there to scoop a big pot and to really be up a decent amount this time. The heater continues. Yet another straddled pot. I have pocket 5s. 4 ways. Flop comes 6-5 deuce rainbow. We check it. I'm in the big blind. We check it over to the button who bets $35. I make the call and the other player makes the call as well. Turn card is the 8 of hearts, bringing backdoor hearts. Check it over to the button again. He bets $55. I decide to just call again and the other player makes the fold. River is an offsuit 8, so we make a full house. Check it over to him again and he bets $100 this time. He's got about $600 behind, and I decide that I'm just going to go for it all. Feel like if he has a straight, he's going to call. If he has tripped 8s, he's going to call. If he has anything else, he's probably just going to fold. So figure I should just go for it all. So I go ahead and jam it all in. He gives it a good long thought and ultimately decides on a fold. All right, last hand of the session worth noting. And this one was against Ben, who had asked me to come over to the table. I had already gotten the best of him in a lot of the hands tonight. Just having the best hand against him often. I had aces against him earlier, made trips against him when he had top pair, top kicker. This hand comes up, I make it $40 on a straddle pot from the big blind with pocket eights. He calls in middle position and another player calls in late position. Dream flop, Jack 8-4 rainbow. I go ahead and bet $75. And Ben and the other player both make the quick call. The turn's the king of clubs, interesting turn card. I decide to go with a check, and Ben bets $275. The other player folds pretty quickly. Here I think putting in the raise makes sense, so I go ahead and put in the raise to $775. Ben doesn't think too long and jams it all in there. I obviously make the call, and the river breaks off deuce river, and we are good. He had top 2 pair, so pretty nasty cooler there for Ben. Not a lot of justice there for him to invite me over to this game and then have me just heater against him specifically and against the entire table.
You're just slowly absorbing everybody.
End up raking in all these chips and building this huge tower of chips.
That will make the vlog.
I hope not.
So as you can see, this game went a lot different than the last episode where I was bluffing every hand. In this video, I just made good hands over and over again. I did still play a decent amount of hands. I definitely was a little bit tired towards the end of the night in this session. The first table, I definitely played 80% of the hands. Second table is a little bit tougher. There were some pretty good players and also a lot of action, so hard to get in there for cheap with some of these crap hands. So I still tried to play as many hands as possible. Had a great time. Ended up getting into the game for $2,000, out for $55.50. So I won $3,550 for this session. Pretty good win, fun time.
$3,500? That's a lot of money. We want to raise more ice cream.
All right, guys, you got your ice cream as a payment. How's it?
Good.
How's it?
I'm gonna rock those babies. Delicious.
After this session, of course, went to the bar with everybody, had a good time meeting everyone, sharing some stories and talking. These mugs, as I've said in every one, are just the best time. And I'm looking forward to attending more. I will be playing on Poker Go today, on Poker After Dark. It'll be on today, Tuesday, August 6th, starting at 5 o'clock Eastern, going to 11 p.m. And then again tomorrow, 5 o'clock to 11 p.m. First time on Poker After Dark. Should be a lot of fun, and so hopefully you guys will watch, and hopefully things go well. We'll see. Thank you guys as always for watching. Tune into Poker Go Tuesday and Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern to see me playing on there. And for now,
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment down below, give us a big thumbs up. Bye, YouTube.
see you guys later. Now, let's hope the devil doesn't come out on the Poker Go stream. We need Angel Andrew, right?
Yeah, hope this girl doesn't come out.
Yeah,
right?
we need Angel Andrew over my shoulder for the Poker Go stream, right?
Angel. This is nothing like an angel. He's more like a hideous devil. I'm the angel. I'm the beautiful little angel.
I don't think so.